This is Real Generational Wealth. Live from Southern California, this is Abby, Espie, and Jen.
Hi, happy Wednesday, everyone.
Happy Wednesday.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Real Generational Wealth, where we have over 50 years of combined experience making sure you and your family always have a place to call home. For those of you who've followed us for the past couple months, we've basically given you all the tips and tricks we have up our sleeves to help you become homeowners or to help you sell your home. But we did want to give you guys a chance to get to know us a little better. So this week and the next couple weeks, we will be showcasing each other. This week we will be interviewing Espie. So if you are watching us live, be sure to hashtag live. And if you are watching us on the replay, hashtag replay. But before we get to all of that, Abby, what's up with you? What's going on in your neck of the woods? How's the market?
So the market is very busy. For buyers out there, don't be discouraged. Don't feel like, oh, the prices are too high, because I am working with a buyer right now, and then we did have an appraisal that came in lower than the price that we offered, and the sellers were nice enough to lower it to the appraised value. So they lowered it by $20,000. So the lesson here is the appraisal is there to help you. So if you think that you overbid and then you're doing financing, then the appraisal is there to protect you, to make sure that you're not bidding over the comps, or that you don't have any negative equity. So if you're out there, if there's buyers out there that are discouraged, or they think there's too many multiple offers, I mean, I am still able to get clients that are FHA, or Jen has a VA buyers. We're still able to get them into escrow and into the home that they want. So you don't have to settle just because it's a competitive market right now. If you have a good agent that is proactive, then they can definitely get you into a home. Sure. So other than that, my other escrows are moving along. If there's buyers out there that are waiting, or they want to see what the market's like, just remember that interest rates might go up. Well, they have been going up.
They've gone up in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. So interest rates are starting to creep up. So that means that your payment will be higher. If you think that you're qualified for a loan, I mean, why not try to get pre-approved and see where you stand? Or if you're not approved right now, you can see what you need to do in order to get approved for a loan. Mm-hmm. So either way, it doesn't hurt you. At least you can plan. Anyway, so Jen, what about you? Like, what's going on in the Valley?
I mean, you mentioned I have some VA buyers. I don't know why my camera keeps glitching. Sorry, guys, for watching, but I do have VA buyers that are in escrow. We actually should be closing soon. They did have to go through a couple offers to get one approved. So just to kind of piggyback off what you said for our buyers, don't get discouraged. Be patient. We promise you that the home is out there for you. I'm a true believer that everything happens for a reason. The one that we're actually in escrow on, we initially got rejected, and then the first buyer canceled, so they came back to us. So again,
awesome.
Anything can happen.
Very nice.
So yeah, now's the time to buy. I mean, now's a perfect time to sell. Most of the houses I'm showing, I am in line for at least 30 minutes to get in with my clients. There's so much demand right now. So as a seller, you have like a lot of opportunity to be able to get top dollar for your home.
You call the shots as the seller.
Yeah. I mean, you have a listing going on right now, right? So how's that one going?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of the listings.
I was looking at you and it said, well, My listing is in the Bay Area,
Okay.
so I still have some of my um, client for life there that keeps on calling me. I have another listing that's coming up too, or she's moving up. So all these clients that I've helped about 4, 5 years ago, they are ready to move up to a
Nice.
bigger home. So it's
Awesome.
interesting because uh, the inventory is not there. I mean, there's really scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a matter of getting it staged, getting it ready, having it accessible, and the buyers are out there looking. You know,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
And I
So,
think the whole thing with inventory too, we've all the three of us have been feeling it, right? Because we're in
mhm,
SoCal. A lot of people are moving. People are always moving to Southern California. However,
mhm,
I have friends. She's in pharmacy school. She actually just got a job in Austin, so they're going to be
mhm,
moving to Austin this summer. And I was trying to find an agent out there to refer them out to, and she's telling me their market's just as nuts. Like they've got 50, 60 buyers on one property. So
mhm.
A
Yeah,
lot of people are making the mass exodus from
yeah.
California to Texas.
yeah,
Um,
Migration,
yeah.
migration. Because of all the changes that's going on, people are very uncertain about the economy. We're opening up, so now people are starting to say, okay, well, we need to move now. You know,
right.
and because we are now working at home, so most of us would like to have bigger homes and more affordable homes, and we can get that mostly outside of California.
Yeah, Las
You know?
Vegas,
Yeah.
Texas.
Hmm. Even Tennessee, Dakota, they're saying that there's a lot of activity there now. Idaho, the investors are actually going there now to catch the ball.
Right.
Mhm.
All these migrants are coming. Yeah.
I do see a lot of people moving to Idaho. I mean,
Hmm.
they said it's very pretty over there, and then the home prices are lower.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Right.
that's interesting. Like from Southern California to Idaho, it's quite a
Yeah,
It's a
change.
big change.
I know. It is. Yeah.
But anyway, so now that we know, for all of our viewers, market is still crazy. It's still a great opportunity for all buyers and sellers to get in. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Today we are going to be showcasing our co-host Espie.
Yay!
Thank you.
So Espie, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into real estate? How and when did you get into real estate?
Okay, now you have to be kind to me, all right? I know. Okay. How did I get into real estate? Well, in 1988, I finally was going to have a baby. Okay. It was my second marriage, and I know that in this second marriage, I really need to have an infertility done. So it was a baby that was really, really long for, right?
Uh-huh.
I was 33 years old at that time. So when I got pregnant, finally that year, I was also in SDI because earlier, like 4 months, 5 months earlier, I had my ACL replaced.
Oh
I
wow.
guess that's
Oh.
the reason why I was able to have the baby because I was sitting put. I'm too active. I'm always out and about. So anyway, I had my baby, and I was also having therapy and staying home most of the time. So I was listening to a lot of this late night show of how to buy a house with no down.
Hmm.
And so that prodded me, and I said, well, this is a great way to do it because if I'm going to have my baby, I'll have all the flexibility that I need. So I did that. So November of 1988, I was about 9 months pregnant. Oh no, what's that? 7 months pregnant? 9 months is when you have the baby, right? I forgot.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
Oh yeah, technically 10.
Yeah. So about November, I got my license, and then I listed my brother's home in Sunnyvale that he owned for only 4 months.
Oh wow.
we moved in we moved in together because we were both having a baby. We moved in together in this 3 bedroom 1 bath house, and right next door was a 5 bedroom, 3 bath house. So the owner and my brother was in the fence, and he said, the owner of the big house says, "Hey, you want to buy my house? You know, I'll sell it to you for 240." And so I said, "Oh yeah, why not?" So my brother was so excited, and I looked at the value of his house. It went up already in 4 months' time. So I was able to sell it. That was my first escrow in November. You
How
know,
much did you sell it for?
I sold it for I think 185. He bought it for like 135. So this was the time when the market was starting to go up. You know,
Uh-huh.
so in just a few months, we were able to sell it for 185, and then we bought the other house for 240.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was November, right? So by December, we were moving. End of December, we were moving to the other house right next door. And since then, he never moved. That was it.
Your brother still lives there?
Oh, yeah, that's where he lives now
Wow.
with his 3 kids, and now he's getting ready to retire.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, got a big house, 5 bedroom, 3 bath house.
It's so expensive there too, huh, in
I
Northern
know.
Cali.
I know that house now is close to 2 million, or maybe a little bit more, because it's just down the street from Yahoo and Google.
Your brother's rich.
It is. He's getting ready to retire this year. He's turning
Mhm.
65, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to retire."
Good for him. Good for
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so most of my clients have been family, of course, and people that I know. And I have a big family in the Bay Area, cousins, cousins of cousins, all that. And I also spend a lot of time with the Lions Club.
Mhm.
So I joined the Lions Club in 1984, oh no, 1994. And so that was my community outreach. That's how I would put out myself there in the community,
Can
you
you
know.
tell us what the Lions Club is?
The Lions Club, it's an international club, and it was founded by this lady who, you know, Helen Keller. It's about Helen Keller. And it's basically a club that is for networking for business people, you
Mhm.
know, and at the same time helping out the community. So the first charity that they were doing is for the blind. They were collecting eyeglasses. You see all these boxes that you can see in the public places where they can collect used eyeglasses.
Uh-huh.
That's started by Lions Club. So the club I was with was San Francisco Host Lions Club, which actually just celebrated the 100th year of anniversary last year. You know,
Okay.
and we have always been doing like medical missions to the Philippines. The last one that I did was in Palawan, in the Long Island of the Philippines, Palawan.
Puerto Princesa,
Yeah, where
like
Puerto
the
Princesa
vacation
is.
area.
Yeah. So we brought in like 23 members of the alumni of Berkeley. You
Mhm.
know,
Nice.
they have an association there. So we have a Lion member who is a alumni of Berkeley. So she does a lot of this eye yeah, medical mission. So we did that and helped over 3,000 people from the mountains, people coming from the mountains, the barrios, the different little towns there, and help give them one eyeglasses or two, you
That's
know.
nice of you because they probably don't have access to that
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
if it wasn't for the Lions Club.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. It is really heartwarming to see how you can help people and how you can put people together who are these young students from alumni from Berkeley, going there, bringing their tools and helping out the people. It's just amazing how it can really open up their eyes, and also the people that are being helped, really, how gratifying it is to see how they can. There's one old man that I was talking to, and he said, "Well, I started walking 4 o'clock in the morning from the mountains, and I got here," and he got two glasses. We were
Wow.
able to give him two eyeglasses. So, a lot of things that we take for granted, when
Yeah.
you go to these medical missions and you go to all this outreach, you realize how lucky you are and how valuable, every little piece of item that you have, things that you don't, that you take for granted are really, really big deal for people, like
That's
slippers.
true.
Yeah.
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 Like,
So,
oh yeah, like slippers.
uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we would make put together backpacks for students, and then has
Mm.
slippers and also some shirts for the first day of school, you
Mm.
know,
Oh,
and give them to students. And the big thing that I started was the library books. You know how the library books are just being thrown here
Yeah.
in United States. So in San Francisco Library, it's a big, big library. We would go there and pack like 25 balikbayan boxes
mm-hmm.
and send it to the Philippines to the different public schools, you know. And
Yeah, they can use that. I mean,
yes, yes, they're very, very thankful for those, different
yeah.
kinds of books, even baby books like picture books are very valuable for them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
That's
So
cool.
that's, well, I started in the Bay Area. That's how I started. That was like what, 33 years ago.
So, okay, you're talking about your baby. Okay, so why don't you tell us about your baby? Is your baby still a baby now, or?
Well, I guess for me, he's still a baby, but of course, he's gonna hate me if I say that in public. But he's a full-grown man. He's 32 years old, and being a single mom for over what, 17, 18 years now. Um, he's the wind beneath my wings, I guess I would say.
Oh,
he he is a challenge, and at the same time, he is my reason for being, right. So
yes.
that's
Wow.
why I moved here in LA. I moved here in LA to be in Hollywood because my son, about 4 or 5 years ago, he decided that he wants to pursue the entertainment business. So at first he was doing acting, in
Mm-hmm.
second year. We were in El Dorado Hills. He was in the second year high school. And at first he was so gung ho with being in the football,
Mm.
you know. So he did football, he did a boot camp. But then within half of the year, he noticed that he's being bullied because he's a buff. He's kind of buff. People think
Yeah.
that he's in steroid or something like that. He was always
Yeah.
teased. And he decided that he wants to go to the acting class. So I found him an acting class outside of school, and I would sit there sometimes for 3 hours to wait for him because Charlie Holiday, who is his first teacher for acting,
Acting. Mm-hmm.
was doing it in his garage in Rancho Cordova. So sometimes I would sit there for 2 hours, 3 hours to wait for him, you know. And so he was doing that for a year or two. Then he went to the army. So when he came back from the army, about 3, 4 years, you know how you sometimes you go back to the army. When you came back from the army, you don't know what you want to do.
Right.
So he was doing all kinds of things, and finally he said, "You know what? I want to go back to Charlie." And then since
Mm.
then, he never looked back. He said, "I'm not going to grow here in Sacramento. I have to go to Hollywood." So he out in
I mean,
California.
environment plays a role, so it's,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, one thing about him is that he knows what he wants. And for me, being that he is the only one and I see that he's focused on it, I encourage it. For me, as long as you know what you want, you're sure, you're passionate about it, I believe that it is something that you have to really encourage.
So,
Yeah.
has he been in anything that maybe we know of? Like, has he acted in anything or played an extra in any movies?
No, he was doing a lot of coaching for now. And
Uh-huh.
last year we had the COVID, and he was going out to a lot of how do you call this when you are
Auditions.
called to audition. He's called to
Mhm.
read, audition, and all that. And the thing is, because of it's all closed out. The entertainment business was closed up, for all these shootings, the big films. So that was cut. So what they did was, now he just finished his pilot.
Oh,
So
nice.
he got into
Oh,
film making. So he did he's a producer, and then did the directing, and learning how to do the video editing, all that. So right now they've just finished all the shootings, and they're doing the effects, all the cinematography and all that. And he's learning it on his own through people that he meets here in the valley.
that's awesome.
Exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing
Okay, so
things.
so you made the move here with
Uh-huh.
him. How
Uh-huh.
was that transition for you? I guess both career-wise and personally, right? Like you've been in the Bay most of your life.
Yeah.
Most of your career was built there, and then
Mm-hmm.
now you're moving to a completely different market. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
prices are still crazy too, but
Yeah.
in general, you know what I mean? From going from the Bay down to LA,
Yeah.
how was that transition for you?
Well, this is not my first time to be transplanted, because first of all, I transplanted from Philippines to here, right? I
Hmm.
didn't know anything.
Yes.
I was TNT, remember? And I was able to pivot during that time. And then when I was getting my divorce, I moved north of Sacramento, which is in El Dorado Hills. So that was another move.
Yeah.
um, although it is still 2 hours away from my market in the Bay Area. So I was still going back and forth to the Bay Area for that, until I was able to establish my business in El Dorado Hills.
Hmm.
And then I went back to the Bay Area after 9 years, and spent another 10 years there. Now I'm here in LA, which is entirely a different culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Entirely a different culture. So I would say, so yeah, how is that? Well, that's why I still go back to the Bay Area, just for this time. Last year I was able to close some escrows through people that I know, you know. But the bottom line is, it's still the people that knows you that's gonna give you the business. So it's important that, like we do this streamline, people see you, people hear you, hear your story. It's still good to do that. That way they would be familiar and think about, what you have to share, and what you can contribute to whatever decisions they have to make. Because our business actually makes a big difference to people. And
Yes.
a lot of people need to remember and to realize that, because we're the one that helps them make that first leap for the biggest investment that they're going to do, you know at the start, right? When you deal with first time home buyers, they haven't bought anything, but maybe the most precious they bought is a car.
Right.
But
Hmm.
buying a house, whether that was $185,000 33 years ago, or $1 million right now for first time home buyer, it's still the same. It's your first biggest investment, and you scrimp and you find ways on how you're going to deal with it. How you're going to be putting together your down payment, how you're going to pivot from one place to another, how you're going to be moving, all that makes a big, big difference, if you by choosing who you're going to work with.
True.
Yeah,
you know
some people they just want to go off on their own because they want to be independent. But if you have an agent helping you, you can they can help you increase your score, or let you know
yeah.
about special programs, or
Mhm.
just let you know about the market. Because even some of my clients, I do tell them, maybe just wait until you have more of a down payment, wait until you can reach the next tier of
Mhm.
your credit score. So I think sometimes, like, people that don't want to use agents, they kind of want to do it on their own. It's like they're kind of at a loss, because agents, we don't get paid by the buyers. We get paid
Right.
with the transaction. So all of this advice is free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that we don't get paid not until something closes.
Right.
They get the key. And, before you find that, you have to kiss a lot of frogs first, right? To find the pit. before you
Just
can
like
find the prince. You have
finding
to
a
help.
husband.
Yeah, you help a lot of buyers out there. You help a lot of sellers. People question you, ask you questions all day long. Like I have a friend of mine actually called me and she was asking me about situation in the Philippines. And because I started doing that 10 years ago, then I could answer her question. I don't have to turn around and ask my partner in the Philippines. And oh, by the way, is this something that you can do? But now over time, you get to learn that. So as you go along and you learn from every escrow that you do, every transaction that you do, there's always a learning, a layer of knowledge there that stays with you that you can share with your clients,
That's
or
true.
people that are around you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. So, I know you work with a lot of baby boomers. Why don't you tell us how did you get into doing retiring in style? Like, how did that come about?
Well, in 2009, you know what happened, right? So I was in El Dorado Hills at that time. I was listing beautiful homes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a listing I had there that was a model home that's, 5,000 square feet, all furnished. We were selling it. And it was like, I was telling my client, don't chase a dagger that's falling down. So that's what happened was that the market was falling and she still wants the price to be up here,
Mm.
Oh no.
all the way. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, during the time there was a lot of chaos. People are so confused. You hear in TV how people are being ejected in their homes, even old people are being ejected in their homes. And for me at that time, remember I was single. But I was set because I was doing quite well, and suddenly I was in that pickle too. It was very hard for me to pivot at that time on closing escrows enough so that I could cover my own expense. So in short, I had a short sale my house. It
Oh.
was the beginning of the time that you can short sale. I didn't have my specialty yet for loan modification. That's the reason why I did my certification for loan mod and short
Mhm.
sale. So anyway, when that happened, I sent some of my furniture back to the Philippines. I got a 20-footer, sent it to the Philippines, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna live here, and then I'm gonna go back and forth in the Philippines. My son was in the army then, so I was by myself. Then meanwhile, I was seeing all these people who were being wheeled in a wheelchair. Every time they arrive in the Philippines or leave here in the airport, so many people are in a wheelchair. You
Mm.
know,
Yes. No, I totally can see that because when I got my dad, we were in line behind hundreds of Filipinos in wheelchairs. I was
right,
like, what
right,
is this phenomenon here? Like in the airport, so
yeah,
many Filipinos in wheelchairs, and then they have the dual citizenship
yeah,
paperwork. Yeah.
because they experience that it is cheaper to live in the Philippines.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that generation, actually they are a little bit all the quiet generation, which is
Mm-hmm.
my mom and dad. They have been going back and forth in the Philippines and spending their social security there,
Mm.
and they're enjoying it. They're enjoying their time there, instead of being here and being a babysitter, right?
Right.
Plus,
See
their
what
money
happened.
goes so much farther with their social
Exactly.
Yeah,
security
the
goes
American
so
dollar
much
out
farther
there.
in the
Yeah.
Philippines. They can
Mm-hmm.
hire a nanny, a caretaker,
Yeah, yeah,
Driver.
or driver.
a
Yeah.
driver, and then they wear the scrubs, like they dress up like nurses. They're in their
Right.
uniform and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So with my generation, the baby boomers now, what's happening is that they're more active. They're more. They look young for their age, right? So what's happening now is that they're going there. They're also investing. So they start having like a second life,
Right.
because they go there and then they buy another property or even investor and have a business.
Hmm.
So That's the reason why I have this thing, retire in style. Or when you are 50 or going towards 55, then you start planning. I talk to them and say, hey, start planning on what you want to do. So if you can plan early, then you can retire in style. Basically, retire in style doesn't mean that you live in a mansion up in a hill. It's more of planning on what you want to do when you get there. When you turn 65, you turn 75, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a missionary? Do you want to be a grandparents who live with the kids, just close to their kids? So maybe you need to relocate where they are, right? Or you
That's
want a
true.
retired place, so maybe you just want to downsize and make your home suitable for retirement. So that's basically the reason why I had that retiring style.
Yeah, that's a great concept because I
Mm-hmm.
know that there's a lot of people that are retiring and they don't have a plan. They're like, I'm going to work until I'm 75,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of need to know, you need to have a plan. So that's
Yep.
good that you're there to help them with that because you
Mm-hmm.
want to be comfortable when you're that age. You don't want to have to stress about where am I going to live or what am I going to do.
You want
So
to
Mm-hmm.
retire on your own terms, right? You want to,
Yeah.
yes,
it's got to be the lifestyle you want. And again, whether it's a mansion or, somewhere else
living with
quaint,
your kids.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you've got to
Yeah.
have that plan.
So over the years, since over what 10, 11 years now, we've helped parents, baby boomers, help their kids buy their first home, okay, or move them to another home. I have one client who bought like five different homes and then moved from one home to another and did 1031 exchange on the other ones that he rented, you know.
Mhm.
So a variety of that. And right now, there's, because of all these changes in the taxes, there's a lot of things that's going to happen where people are going to start liquidating. So baby boomers are getting older, and now they have all these properties that they bought during their 40s and 50s. Now what are they going to do? So we are now chanting about 1031 exchange or the modified installment sale, or how you can defer your taxes, the new laws about proposition 19, reverse mortgage. That's the kind of workshops that I've been doing right now. And yeah, I have a lender that actually have been working with me, and we have been doing workshops when I was in the Bay Area and chanting about Kalhafa, first time home buyer, or reverse mortgage for the baby boomers, and that's what we have been doing. So I'm sure that's what we're going to be doing again now, especially with these new laws on Prop 19.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to invite my lender Oliver that has been
Oh yeah, he was on the show
A familiar
before.
face.
he has been in
Yes.
the show with
So
us a couple
let
of
me see.
times. Yeah.
I'm sure for those of you who've tuned in during our pre-approval series, Oliver was one of our guests. Give me 1 second. Let me bring him on.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, hey guys.
What's up,
Hey
Oliver?
Oliver.
Hey, can you guys hear
Oh,
me okay?
yeah.
Yes,
Okay, great. Yeah. Hey, I just got these new progressive lenses. I'm like, whoa. So I look up, it's really
you
clear. I
look
look
great.
down, it's kind of blurry. Hey, hey
Yeah.
Abby. Hey Jen. Hey
What's
Espie.
going on?
Hey
Okay,
there.
Hi
so we
Oliver.
wanted to bring you on real quick. And I mean, this episode's all about SB. So, quick question for you. How has it been working with SB? I know she mentioned you guys have been working together for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I mean I've known Espie quite some time, many, many years actually. She always cracks the whip on me. Okay, she's a slave driver. I'm kidding you.
I'm not kidding.
No, but you know what? Actually, kidding aside, SP is one of the hardest working agent that I know. She is seasoned, and she knows how to do things right. What I mean by that is if she doesn't have the answer, she'll find it.
Hmm.
She will work hard to find it. Um, I think she talked about the first time buyers that she has done with me. Yes, okay. There's also some renovation loans that we did,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
reverse mortgages that we did, people that have bankruptcies, foreclosures, short sale, we did, people that
Rising
hold
from
do,
the ashes after after
yeah,
Wow.
people that,
after the 2009-10. Yeah.
yes, people
Uh-huh.
that do not have the down payment,
Mm-hmm.
we did, people that are credit challenged. Espy, you're killing me. Can you give me a 20% down with 800 credit score? No, but really, Espy is a great agent. You know, I guess you can look at Espy this way. Okay? She gives the little guy a chance. Who's the little guy, right? The little guy is the guy that doesn't have the down payment, the guy that does have a lot of debts, the guy that does not have great credit. That's the little guy.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we have them, but Espy really gives them hope, gives them
Oh.
hope on getting it
That's
And
and getting their first.
Esperanza, right? Oliver Esperanza. It's
Uh,
my name.
What does esperanza mean when you translate it?
It's hope. I guess that's
Oh.
that's the reason why I'm
love that.
Wow,
it's
I didn't
hope.
know that.
That's the reason why I'm for some reason God has been giving me all these people who needs hope.
I love
Yeah, I
that.
mean, people that would have not gotten into homes or because of credit issue, may it be too much debt, not
Hmm.
established credit,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have the down payment, they had a big bankruptcy, they had a foreclosure, they had a short sale, they found a house, but it's
Yeah.
too expensive. Okay, so now they have to look for a house that's a little bit in their budget. Now they're looking at fixer uppers. We did those. Okay,
Yeah.
it could be that the retirement style. I think she was doing some retirement style folks that don't have the money. They went to a bank. These retirees, they went to a bank. They can't get a loan.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
She
That's
brought
right.
them to me. Okay, and we started brainstorming and trying to figure out how can we help these people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing reverse mortgages. So those are the kind of things that SP has done in the past season. I mean, she's seasoned.
So it seems
Okay.
like both of you work in tandem together
Yeah.
to come up with a solution for the buyer or for the like you're like a package deal. So the buyer so that the buyer knows their options, it seems
Yeah,
Yeah.
like.
yeah. I mean, I think here's the thing. Okay, I think SP was in mortgages before, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, my foundation actually from 1988, I sold that one house of my brother, right? And then after that, I had these agents that were really, really knocking me off, hitting me on the stomach with all these four-letter words. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to go here. It was in the Bay Area, in Silicon Valley. And so I switched to the financing.
Got
Oh,
it.
I switched to the financing and I got really good at that because I became a wholesale rep. I became a retail rep, a wholesale rep, a direct lender rep, and I learned how to deal with the underwriters, what's the button to press, and all that thing. And I was dealing with like I had a territory from San Jose all the way to Vallejo brokers. I have so much over 200 brokers that I need to deal with, make
wow.
sure that their loans are funded, you know. So I'm the one that talks to them and refute, with the underwriter and the loan committee on how this file has to be approved you
Wow.
know so I learned all the little details here and there. So when I met Oliver, and then I know he's an engineer, and I know my father is an engineer, and I have a brother who's an engineer, so I know he can be detailed. But yeah, we would brainstorm, and sometimes I would tell him certain things that he would, oh, you're right, that's a good idea. So it is he's humble enough to listen to me, and open-minded enough to hear what I have to say, and we get things done. You know, so all I say to a buyer is that if you really really want it, I'm telling you, doors is gonna open.
Yeah.
Something's gonna open. You know, because you were putting it out there that you want it. It's either somebody's going to lend them money, somebody's going to give them money, somebody's going to sell a big, nice car for them and give the money to them. All kinds of
Or
things
they're
happen.
going to work with a star team like you and Oliver, and they'll get the house they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I work with other agents. Obviously, SB is not my only agent that I work with, and SB also works with other.
Of course.
So
Mhm.
it's a personality thing too,
For sure.
So sometimes other buyers don't mesh well with my style, and but they mesh well with other lenders. Perfectly fine, okay. But the um, the thing with SB is with the clients that her and I work with are the ones that they're not a sure thing, and they're not a sure thing. Like I
Hmm.
said, they're the little guys. They're
Yeah.
the little
The
guys.
underdog.
They're not the $1 billion home buyers. I wish they were, but but we're okay with that. We're
Yeah.
okay with that. And
Well,
there's so much.
we have buyers also that have, don't forget them.
That are
Well,
work.
yeah,
There's buyers that
yeah,
are work qualified.
That has a
there
lot of
are,
money
there
too.
are, there are, and I welcome those. Okay, but I'm just saying. Okay, my point is this: you do a tremendous job in helping other people. Your involvement in the Filipino community is well, gosh, I guess documented. You're at the chamber
Yeah,
here
the
in
Phil
the
M
Bay
Chamber
Area,
of Commerce.
right?
Mhm.
Also there in the Southern California. I mean, you have your footprints everywhere. Okay, with the Filipino community, which is great. I mean, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Filipino myself, and the uh, the thing with SB is kind of like, think of SB as like a mother that that's not gonna give up on you, okay? That's gonna give you the right advice and do everything she can to help you out. I mean, that's how I see SB.
I
Is
Mhm.
love
that
that.
she's always there to back you up, and if it is not the right time, she'll
Mhm.
tell you, hey
Yeah.
Oliver, you know what? This is not working out with this buyer.
Mhm.
Let's give this person an action plan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we could work with
Yeah.
this person in 6 months down the road.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's not pushing. She's
Mhm.
not gonna force the issue. She's very patient. So
That's
this is the
great.
kind of stuff that SB and I have done. Now, I, gosh, I don't have any testimony. Well, you know what? Actually, I do. If you go to my website, actually, it's oliverloans.com. Some of those testimonials I owe to Esperanza, to Espie. Some of those people that wrote their nice testimonial there about my service were actually because of Espie's uh, partnership and her
Oh,
collaboration working with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
so check,
client.
check them out. It's
Clients.
oliverloans.com and just scroll down testimonial. That would be also Espie's testimonials.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well, thank you,
awesome.
Oliver. It was so
All
nice
right.
to see you again.
Hey, good seeing you,
Sure, we'll
girls.
probably bring you on another episode in the future.
Oh yeah, you know what? I have an idea actually. Maybe we can talk about I don't know, mortgage insurance. That's one of the things that what it is, and maybe a home buyer would need to know. But just let me know. Just let me know. I'd be glad to help.
Definitely.
okay.
Thank
Awesome.
you. We'll
Thank
talk
you
to you
so
soon.
much.
All
I
right. Bye,
like your
guys.
Nice seeing
glasses.
you, Oliver.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
that's awesome. Okay, so SB, it sounds like you've obviously done everything underneath the sun. There's from here to here to here. I have a
Yeah.
question. Is
Hmm.
there one transaction that is the most memorable that stands out? Whether it's the most expensive or the least expensive, or I don't know, just if you can at least name, I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure. I mean, you've been doing this for so
Hmm.
long, but if there's one memorable transaction, like tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'm not gonna go too far back, okay? Because there's some that are like the one that I cherished a lot is the one that I did last year, and this is the lady that she belonged to my networking group. I used to have a networking group before. It's called Successful Thinkers Network, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a free meetup group that was an online, offline. I met a lot of people there. We were opening chapters from Sacramento all the way to Bay Area. So this was I met her when she was my first presenter on my first meeting for the Successful Thinkers Network in Fremont, my Fremont chapter. So she was younger than me. I didn't realize that she's a lot younger than me. She's like 10 years younger than me, and I think even more. So she hit me up because she found out that I moved here with my son. And apparently, her two daughters, there are only two daughters, decided also to go to Hollywood and pursue film. And they were going to school, right?
Mhm.
So after a couple of years, they decided the husband turned 65 and she was still quite active. She's a lot younger. And she said, "We're going to move to LA. Can you help us?" So she was moving from LA to Los Angeles. See, that was my kind of ideal client, right? Yeah. So that was a real good experience. And I have these clients who were very, very thankful. They gave a lot of gratitude with the way the whole thing worked out because it took us about 4 months to get this done. You know, they had to sell their house in Livermore and they had to buy a house here in Santa Clarita, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up I gave them options where, oh, you might have to rent,
Mm-hmm.
you might have to store your stuff because they lived in that house for 28 years, you know. So apparently the agent that they found, that they decided to go with, was their niece that just got her license. So I said, what? Okay, well, she has to really sync with me. Okay, we have to work together. So we got into one escrow and we lost that because they were like a backup offer and it took them 30 days to get the house ready. Not in the
Wow.
market, but ready. So anyway, that was a transition, and in short, we were able to get the house that they love. The second house was even better. It was a 5,000 square feet house with a beautiful view of the golf course
Well,
and a spectacular backyard with a
They must have had
pool.
a big budget. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
huge.
Oh no, no, because the thing is, the little house that they bought there for 28 years ago, they sold it for 1.1 million. Okay, and they bought this house for 1.5, a little over 1.5
Mm-hmm.
million, and it was like almost double the size of the house that they
oh
bought,
wow,
and it's beautiful. It's a house of their dream.
Yeah.
that's
you know
awesome.
so they were so excited about the how much house they could buy here in Southern California, and now they can go back and forth to the Bay Area, for her, and still see their daughters here in in
Mm-hmm.
in Los Angeles. Yeah, so that's I think that is a much very, very gratifying experience that I had because they were very thankful. They didn't see the house. They only saw the house twice when we saw
Wow.
it first time. Yeah. And then their walkthrough. That was it. I did all the inspections with the inspectors. I did all of that and send a report and videos, back and forth with the listing agent, coordinated, got them all this furniture, beautiful furniture, at a bargain for them.
You
Yeah.
did so much.
I
That's
know.
probably why they're so thankful because you basically did everything.
I mean, you
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
go,
yeah.
yeah, you
And
obviously go above and beyond for your clients, which I'm
yeah,
sure everyone appreciates.
yeah, it's because also, you have to realize you have to deal with the seller, you have to deal with the listing agent who can be antsy because the house they had three buyers that, two buyers fell off
Oh wow.
Oh.
on the escrow on the house.
Yeah,
And
so
then
there's a lot of moving parts when
yes,
you have to sell a house and then buy the next one. Are you going to rent? So you need an agent like you to navigate all of those moving parts and to manage the entire transaction. So,
yeah, because even though we had a plan B and C, they ended up, having a chance to stay in their house that they sold for 2 weeks while they are moving their stuff
Oh, that's great.
without rent back
Yeah, for free.
for
That's awesome.
free. You know, yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was perfect. It was really really good. Yeah,
That's awesome. So
yeah.
so you obviously again have done everything underneath the sun. You've covered all ends of the spectrum in real estate. I feel like you've actually truly helped your clients create real generational wealth through real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more question. I don't know if Abby has any more, but outside of real estate, what do you do? Like what are your hobbies? What do you love other than I mean, I know real estate's what you do, but if there's what else is SB about? What are your other hobbies?
I was talking about my love, my real love. Sometimes you talk to God and pray. Said, what is
Uh-huh.
my purpose? Because since I was little, I love to cook. You know how you
Oh,
like to play house. I like to cook. I love to take care. I say I play house a lot. I have 6 brothers, so most of the time by myself. You know, so I play house and I love cooking. So I learned how to cook from my cousin next door by borrowing her cookbook called Betty Crocker.
Oh,
you know I have a first cousin who's right next door to where we live, and that's how I learned how to cook, how to bake. And yeah, now my second instinct is cooking, to be in the kitchen, and
nice.
just making all kinds of food. And sometimes I would blend spices in the back of my mind and put them together, and I know how to taste.
so what's your signature dish? Because I know that you make food for the gods, which is my favorite dessert. And then I saw the pompano that you made, and then the how do you say that, Jen? Shakshuka or
The shakshuka.
Ah,
Shakshuka is
yeah.
for in honor of my son's father.
Oh,
He's
that
from
looks so
Israel,
good.
yeah.
and he loves that. Yeah, so I make that in different varieties. Well, I've been making a lot of the paella. A lot of people like my
Mm.
paella.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Abby and I are
But
gonna invite ourselves over your house one day.
yes,
I know.
yes, we do need to do that. We need to. I love to entertain. That's one thing too. I love to entertain in the house. I love cooking. I don't mind doing that and preparing all day. You know, yeah. Someday I would just want to cook and then talk about houses, maybe
That's awesome.
about retiring in style. Where you want to go? You want to go to Belize? You want to go to Palawan, El
That's
Nido?
awesome.
Mhm. That
Yeah,
sounds like fun.
yeah, yeah. That I would love to do that. Yeah.
Abby, do you have any other questions?
So I just wanted to make a comment. It's not really a question. So I have worked with SB. She because I had a friend of mine. They needed some help with their estate, and I was like, oh, this is not really my niche. Because they had a reverse mortgage and they had other things that just it wasn't part of my expertise. So I had SB join us on a Zoom, and she was on it. She was on it. She answered every question and she was so helpful. And
Yeah.
it was, even though it didn't end up turning into a transaction, SB was there to advise that, they should get an estate set up and things, certain nuances with regard to reverse mortgages. So if you need any help, with reverse mortgage or retiring in style, SB is really an expert in that field. I mean, it's kind of limited what I know as far as reverse mortgage. So it's great that I had SB on that call with me because she owned it. She was, she took control, and she was very valuable to my clients for that. So I'm thankful to have SB as a resource for my more baby boomer clients that need the extra expertise and advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I
awesome.
really enjoy our synergy here. I really do. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of started doing this on a whim in the beginning, and
Uh-huh.
now, I mean, all of us gel so well. I mean, do you
Yeah.
have any last words, SB, you want to share with any of our viewers?
Well, right now there's a lot of, I watch YouTube a lot. And the reason why is because I can choose what to listen to and what to watch. And there's so many information out there about the real estate. Maybe are we going for the doomsday are coming, and the real estate is crazy, all these things about the stock market, what's going to happen with the new government, all these tax laws. And so I keep abreast on that. But what I can say is that you just have to deal with what it is right now. That's all you have. Okay.
True.
Who knows that we're gonna be closed out for almost 2.5 years, 2 years, right? Who
That's
knows?
true.
Yeah. So deal with whatever you need to do right now. We have that Prop 19 that is being, is like a red flag. There's people, or some people say, yay, we have the Prop 19. If you need to know more about Prop 19, 1031 exchange, deferred taxes, how you're going to turn around, sell your houses, and not have to deal with property management and all that, call me. If I cannot answer the question, as Jen and Abby says, I have people that can answer that question
Yeah,
for
she
you.
has a whole team of people that can assist you.
Yeah, yeah. So
So there you have
there
it.
you go.
SP's your girl.
Thank you so much. So I'm
Yes.
excited
Thank
to
you,
find out more
everyone.
about Jen tomorrow, next week.
Yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week, these lovely ladies will be asking me questions. So
Yay, can't wait.
until then, I guess have a great night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.